Hey everyone, Nolar here, back with the 5-9 crew's first impression of Blue Archive. What are our first impressions? Well, we spent the last several days grinding out the game, and we have at least a decent idea of what the mid-game and end-game is going to look like. We can give you the things we love and the things we want to see changed. But before we dive right in, if you're looking for more mobile gaming content, make sure to hit that subscribe button, make sure to hit that thumbs up, and ring that notification bell so you know when 5-9 Gaming Mobile has some content ready for you. Here we go. Blue Archive is an RPG title developed by Nat Games and published by Nexon in the global version. Nat Games is known for the collaboration with Nexon in developing Heroes of Incredible Tales and the upcoming sequel Heroes of Incredible Tales 2. In the Asian countries, Yoastar is publishing the game. Yoastar is known for developing and publishing Azure Lane and Arkhice. They have developed a particular reputation of being great for gacha gamers as a whole. Think free-to-play friendly, fast updates, and good communication. Now, there was an issue with Nexon as they've had a nasty reputation of developing and/or publishing games that have significant differences in their monetization and systems between their versions, global, JP, other Asian countries. Other games that are super paywall, and they tend to drop support after a short period of time. High overhit. To be fair, this track record is attributed to Nexon NA, which has since been shut down. So Nexon Korea, which has a good reputation, is now publishing Blue Archive globally. Consequently, there is hope on how this will play out, but I have inherent PTSD whenever I hear the name Nexon, so it's going to take a long time to get over these issues. The game was first released in Japan and China in February of 2021, and has been around for a pretty long time. As such, even though we could play it, due to the language differences, reading the story was a little bit difficult, as you may have guessed by now. So how is the story now that we can finally understand it? Well, it's pretty straightforward in all honesty, and a lot of vibes is very similar to Azure Lane. You're basically leading a bunch of students and protecting the city against any threats. Now, you actually don't have to pay much attention to the story while playing the game, because the section for the story is completely different for the actual combat missions, and is sort of an add-on for those who are interested in reading the story. For example, you'll do a couple missions, and then a story chapter will unlock, and you can either take a break and read it, or carry on and keep combating and progressing in the actual game. You also have the ability to read more personal stories with each individual student, as well class groups with multiple students. This side of Blue Archive is extremely similar to Princess Connect and how their stories split, and has guild stories as well as personal/individual stories for each character in the game. Now, the art style is pretty much a chibi art style, which can be hit or miss for a lot of players. In this case, I would say most people will actually not mind the chibi art style that they have gone for, as it is more natural Neon Droid-esque 3D chibi form rather than the 2D style that other gachas are known for. The live 2D animations, on the other hand, are phenomenal as per usual and are great designs. The game has some, as you can see, great art for their 2D style. I don't really have to elaborate any further than that, but yeah. Moving on to gameplay. I'll give a brief primer of what the gameplay style is like. Think 3D chibi models mixed with Princess Connect and Yoastar's art style. The skeleton in the game is similar to Princess Connect with a system of automatic main attacks, progressively filling bars of action points, or AP, and unit skills costing said AP. The main story missions are set up with exploration tiles that you must go through. There are enemies on particular tiles that you have to go through to reach the boss. Your units sustain their HP from enemy tile to enemy tile. For example, if on the first enemy tile you get through with 75% of HP on your units, then on the second enemy tile, all your units will start off with the same HP. This is more strategic, as if there are multiple enemy tiles, and if one of the missions require all your units to stay alive until the end, you'll probably have to bring more than one healer, or any other adjustments you have to make to fulfill the objectives. And then once you finish the main story portion, there are submissions, which are more straightforward overall. There are no exploration tiles to go through, it's just a one-shot mission. Hard modes exist to allow you to farm specific units' shards for their awakenings, but of course, they're limited to 3 attempts a day and cost much more stamina. With respect to the actual gameplay, you're taking 4 active units called Strikers here onto the battlefield. You can bring 2 additional units called Special. You're using their actual skills, which are healing and support units, but they don't actually show up on the screen. So once you enter the battle, you'll be slowly gaining mana over time, or AP, and you'll get random skills from your characters to use. The units will auto-attack on their own, so you're really waiting to strategically use your character's skills. So if you want to use an ability, the game slows down, a la Matrix style, and you can target any unit you want. Auto can be good, but it can be stupid, as you, the player, would like to use a sniping ability for the back unit, but the AI will pick the first unit it sees with little to no health instead. There is a timer to make sure you finish the fights in time, so keep that in mind. Once you complete the stage with 3 stars, you can sweep ticket it just like Princess Connect. So initial time investment is just for the first clear, and I'm personally fine with that compared to manualing every stage while you're farming. Yes, I'm looking at you, Honkai Impact 3rd and FGO. The units you can collect are called students, and like all waifu collectors, you gain more affection or reputation with them. As those increase, you'll unlock better animated avatars and live 2D home screen animations. There are 2 types of categories for these units: attack types, represented by the sword icon, and defense types, represented by a shield icon. Within attack types, there are 5 subcategories, and within defense types, there are 4 subcategories. Each of these subcategories only has 1 weakness, and for a visual representation, the same color will be strong against the same color, and vice versa. There's even more. Your characters gain advantages or disadvantages depending on the environment or terrain type: city, desert, or indoor. It should go without saying that you should bring students who have a terrain advantage. And when you first enter the battle, you'll see how effective they are based on the emoji signs. What else can you do besides active combat when your energy runs out? Here are a few things they let you do. There's a housing system similar to Azure Lane called Cafe, where you can customize the space with furniture. You can invite specific students there to increase their affection over time, which is useful because as you increase your relationship status with them, they gain better stats. The cafe itself can earn credits and energy over time, so it's a good system overall. Another system they've implemented is lessons. So far, you get 3 tickets per day, and you have specific locations where your lessons can take place. Each location is unlocked based on the type of students you manage to unlock. The purpose of these lessons is to increase your relationship with those students in a specific targeted manner. It's another way to increase the stats of specific students for your missions. There are guilds referred to as clubs here, but I haven't progressed that far to do much with it. I assume there will be raids and other group activities down the line. There is a crafting system, which I really can't elaborate on because I'm still confused. From what I understand, you put in materials and then choose one of the several paths available, and that process repeats if you have additional materials to add. And then it takes some time to complete the crafting system, and you're done. Again, I'm not too knowledgeable about it, but I thought it was pertinent enough to mention. Let's talk about the animations and the actual process of pulling. Overall, it's pretty well done. To me, the 10 mail icon from the iOS device is great looking. And the fact that you have to physically sign the envelope to start the animation is pretty awesome. Here, you'll see the purple background is a guarantee for a natural 3-star, so it's safe to conclude that there are some unique animations. The gacha is very much like Princess Connect, where you'll pull the new unit once, and from then on, dupes will be pulled into shards of that character and a dupe currency exchange, or as they call it, a ligma. The natural pulls of 1 stars, 2 stars, and 3 stars are what the animations are for, but nonetheless you get ligmas from any rarity. It just depends on how much you get. Pulling a 1-star dupe gets you 1 purple shard, but pulling a 3-star dupe will get you 50 Eligmas. Here you'll see that Eligmas can buy shards, and like Princess Connect, the more you buy, the cost will start to go up. So with this design, it's fairly free-to-play friendly, rewards long-term play overall, and doesn't stress players who can't seemingly pull the new unit / favorite waifu. Also, there is a pity system, which is only 20 multis. That definitely helps all the players in ensuring you get what you're looking for. Okay, as the resident whale, I'll break down the premium currency, or as they call it, pyroxenes. The flow from doing missions and story modes seems to be fairly generous, but that is always the case in the beginning game of a gacha. Already from the beginning, the game reached #1 in the App Store and Google Play Store, and they awarded it 2,400 pyroxenes, which is enough for 2 free multis. Ignoring the bonus first-time purchases, the standard rates are as follows. $1 will get you 48 pyroxene, $4 will net you 200, $8 will net you 420, $12 will net you 660, $23 will net you 1350, and $40 will give you 2300. The big $80 package will give 4800. Just doing a quick analysis of this, you get basically a multi for about 20 bucks, which isn't so bad. However, the rates are a little lower than your standard fare, where natural 3 stars are 2.5%, natural 2 stars are 18.5%, and natural 1 stars are 79%. So to me, it evens itself in the end with how many multis you get for your real life currency in relation to the rates, because even if you get shafted, you have the Ligma shop to compensate. Is it the best system? Depends on what kind of player you are, but this is the one they've implemented in the game, so it is what it is. So far, the launch itself hasn't been smooth for everyone. Going through the Google Play Store reviews, some of the 1-star reviews are just bogus. allowing people to pre-download the game while the servers are under maintenance before the actual launch. This is a rant for another day, but I personally immediately discount those reviews. One actual issue I've seen is that if you're a German player, the game is unplayable. Text boxes are white or blank, and the text boxes that are available, they're in Korean. If you go to summon, which is the first thing that happens when you finish the initial tutorial, you're stuck at a black screen. There are workarounds, but obviously most people will just leave their one-star review and move on. Justifiably so, I would say, given their issues. Again, other people are highlighting its Nexon, so stay away. I can't blame them with Nexon's track record. And finally, the game is region locked. In this tweet, Nexon acknowledged that the game will be available for all countries except Japan, China, Vietnam, Netherlands, Belgium, and Slovakia. Japan and China makes sense because they have their own servers, but the rest of the countries have issues on banning gacha games like Belgium, or they need a publisher in that respective country to publish the game, Vietnam. The workaround is to play the JP version, but again, that's extra work, and in general, as gacha gamers, we're pretty lazy, so yeah, there's that. Our best assessment of the game so far is that Blue Archive is a main game. There's enough stuff to do to qualify it as a main game between the crafting, lessons, cafe, and so much more. The combat, while not 100% engaging all the time, is pretty fun from all the other gacha games I've played so far. The progression system is fine if you're going to play the game for a long term as a free-to-play player based on what I've seen. Again, we're in the honeymoon phase, so our opinions may change in the coming months. I'm slightly weary of the fact that Nexon is at the helm, and I know it's Nexon Korea, which is a totally different entity than Nexon NA, and the fact that Konosuba Fantastic Days seems to be going well. It's really hard to shake the bad juju. Anyways, guys, if you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you're new to the 5-9 Gaming mobile channel, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to see more mobile gaming news, guides, and discussions. Thanks a lot, everyone, and on behalf of the rest of the 5-9 mobile gaming crew, we'll see you next time. And may the RNG gods bless you in your summons.